for revving screw, sir.
He's trying to slip under us!
Now, Mr.
Hard right rudder, aye aye.
Friendly fire! Friendly fire!
During the Battle of the Atlantic in February 1942, a convoy consisting of 37 Allied ships carrying supplies and soldiers was making its way to Liverpool, escorted by 4 light warships. Commander Ernest Krause of the United States Navy commands the Fletcher-class destroyer USS Keeling DD-548 Greyhound. Dominic Keating commands the British Tribal-class destroyer HMS Diamond, Maximilian Osinski commands the Polish Grom-class destroyer ORP Victor Eagle, and Ian James Corlett commands the Canadian Flower-class corvette. Krause is the overall commander of the escort ships, but despite his seniority and extensive naval education, this is his first wartime command. Just 2 months ago in San Francisco, Ernest was dating his girlfriend in New York and exchanging Christmas gifts. She gives him a tiny warship toy and news of his first command. She wants to wait until they are back together before they get married in Norfolk. The convoy enters the Black Pit in the Mid-Atlantic Gap, where they will be out of range of protective air cover, meaning they are 50 hours away from regaining air cover on the other side. Captain Krause gets down to his knees and prays to God for protection, but not long after, a high-frequency signal from the convoy vessel carrying the commanding admiral intercepts several German transmissions, indicating the presence of U-boats. Greyhound identifies a surface submarine heading towards the convoy in 15 miles and moves to attack. But in the middle of the pursuit, the German U-boat suddenly dives and disappears from the radar. Then the captain orders Karl to find and estimate the enemy's movements. Epstein, using the sonar, suddenly detects the sound of the enemy boat's propeller at a distance of 900 meters beneath the Greyhound. Captain Krause gives orders to turn the ship to full speed, maneuvers his ship above the U-boat, and sinks it with a full pattern of depth charges. Krause moves out to confirm the target, and indeed, they have managed to neutralize the enemy's ship, much to the delight of the Greyhound's crew. But the crew's jubilation is cut short as they soon receive reports of rockets fired at the convoy. Another U-boat attacked 2 Greek and Canadian merchant ships, which are rapidly sinking. Krause moves Greyhound to assist, evading torpedoes fired at his ship with careful maneuvers until they rescue the survivors. The surviving Greek and Canadian sailors on board return to the convoy. Shortly after, Eagle and Corvette inform Krause that a wolf pack of 6 U-boats has surrounded each of them 3 miles outside the convoy's firing range. Krause suspects the enemy is waiting for nightfall to attack, when the escorts will have no visibility. 6 German U-boats begin to appear on the surface. The convoy has 5 German U-boats at the front and 1 at the side, and in light of the imminent 36-hour wait for air cover, it is imperative for them to deal with the enemy as a cohesive unit. But the extreme cold temperatures are causing the crew members to freeze, and the wipers and radar devices are starting to malfunction. As the night wears on, 1 U-boat torpedoes an oil tanker and escapes Greyhound with an underwater dive. Under the dog watch from 8 o'clock, Captain Krause instructs his crew that they need to slow down because they might damage the turbine, endangering the overall safety and stability of the ship. The German U-boat decoys the Greyhound crew by releasing the countermeasures into the water, tricking them into wasting most of their remaining depth charges. They keep shooting because they believe there is something underwater, until they realize it's a decoy. Krause chooses to rescue survivors from the burning oil tanker rather than go to aid the other ships. Due to limited visibility, Greyhound nearly collided with a massive American merchant ship before they went head-to-head with a British Guard ship when it opened fire on them. Krause soon realized this and ordered his men to stop firing at them. They thought that the British ship was one of the German ships. Epstein gets the signal that German submarines are approaching and that they are only a few meters away. Krause tells them to fire at them, but the German U-boat is very fast and isn't able to put it down. The submarine torpedoes another convoy ship. Unfortunately, Greyhound is not in firing range and cannot do anything about it. The attack commences from the front pack that evening, with 5 merchant ships being torpedoed and sunk. 1 crew member informs Krause that survivors from the destroyed ship are swimming towards them and asks for his permission to get them on board. He immediately issued an order to rescue them. On Thursday, the convoy is under dog watch from 4 to 8 a.m., waiting for an additional 26 hours to secure air support. Krause receives a report about the number of casualties from the previous night, 24 survivors and 210 confirmed deaths. As he looks out the window, he receives a transmission from the HMS destroyer alerting them about the Germans' renewed attacks on his ship. Krause advises him to bypass the protocol if he's cornered in order to save himself and his crew. Epstein also intercepts the signal on the sonar, indicating that the U-boats have returned, and sure enough, Greyhound successfully blows it into a ball of fire. Krause learns that Greyhound is down to just 6 depth charges and fuel, So he talks to his second officer and makes a call to abandon the zigzag route as part of combat protocols and take a direct course. Though it's risky, it will put them in range for air cover within 24 hours and save fuel. The HMS captain calls Greyhound to provide an update, saying that the enemy is outside the perimeter. After concluding the call, the German lead Wolf submarine's captain uses radio transmission to taunt the convoy and its escorts, threatening to sink them along with their comrades. Krause, filled with rage, orders the transmission to be terminated. The U-boats launch multiple torpedo runs, which Greyhound is barely able to evade. In an exchange of surface broadsides, Greyhound and the Canadian team up to sink one of the U-boats. The close range of the engagement causes minor damage to the corvette, but one of the U-boat's deck guns hits Greyhound on its port side, killing Krause's mess attendant and 2 sailors. They paid their respects to their fallen soldiers. The entire crew assembles on the deck, honoring the 3 men with a gun salute and remembering their life sacrifices. However, as the funeral service unfolds, an attack on the British Eagle destroyer and the American rescue Cadena occurs, leading to their eventual sinking. The night arrives, and there are still 14 hours to air cover. Krause inquires about the latest developments and learns that the Norwegian Kong Gustav ship also experienced a blast, leaving no survivors. He sadly puts down the phone, saying goodbye to my dear friends. It's Thursday at 8 p.m. when the first officer tells Krause that they should change positions since they're all exhausted and tired from what happened for the past 24 hours. The captain looks out the window and sees the destroyed ships and a cloud of smoke. Krause takes the first officer to the deck, informing him of the ship's wreckage and its inability to fight or defend itself against the German ships. He orders him to send an urgent transmission to the admiral to get air cover as a backup to attack the German U-boats. While waiting for the reply, Grey Wolf speaks to their radio again, warning them that they're all going to die while screaming about their brutal deaths. He says they will attack them at their most unexpected time. Luckily, Admiral responds immediately, informing them that it is on its way and providing a modified rendezvous point, just 4 hours away, from which they will have air cover. On Friday morning, with 3 hours to air cover, Krause tells the messenger to fetch his slippers from the cabin. The wounds and blood on Krause's feet have left him exhausted. Just after changing his slippers, Epstein spots more German submarines in their 500-meter range. The German commander once again taunts Krause, saying that they are all going to die today. With the convoy close to reaching air cover, the remaining U-boats mount an all-out assault on the destroyers. The Greyhound avoids the first torpedo, thanks to precise calculations, and with a sharp maneuver, one of the torpedoes collides with their ship but doesn't blow up. When the U-boat surfaces, Greyhound engages in heavy fighting, and at last it sinks the lead U-boat with a full broadside, but one takes a dive into the water to prepare for its final assault. Despite facing unrelenting harassment from a pack of enemy U-boats, Captain Krause exhibits unwavering leadership as he issues a resolute command, urging his devoted crew to propel the ship to its utmost speed. Their collective determination is fueled by the crucial objective of reaching the designated spot, where vital air cover awaits. Amidst the challenging circumstances, with their ammunition supply dwindling, Captain Krause's indomitable spirit shines through as he issues a commanding directive, igniting a continuous firing. They persevere until one of the enemy boats succumbs to their relentless fire. The British and U.S. Coastal Command skillfully deployed air support to bolster the embattled convoy. The British bombers unleashed a barrage of bullets on the U-boat, marking its final visible appearance. The U.S. bomber also descends upon the marked target, delivering a devastating blow that sends the submarine plunging into the depths of the unforgiving sea. The remaining Wolf pack hastily retreats into the shadows. Its escape is a testament to the stalwart resolve of Greyhound and her courageous defenders. As the smoke clears and the vessel crew assesses the damage sustained, a message from the HMS head of the relief escorts pierces through the radio waves. He grants a moment of solace to Greyhound and her 2 steadfast companion vessels, directing them to Derry for much-needed repair and refitting. The crew receives a job well done on their 4 U-boat kills. Amidst the jubilant atmosphere, Greyhound's crew basks in the warm embrace of camaraderie, their heroic efforts celebrated with resounding cheers from the soldiers and crew of the remaining convoy ships. A collective salute resounds through the air, a tribute to their unwavering bravery and dedication, as well as a chorus of appreciation for Greyhound and the 2 surviving companion vessels. In the wake of their hard-fought victory, Captain Krause, weary but content, retreats to his cabin and tries to sleep for the first time in the last 3 days. With a new course set, the indomitable Greyhound sails forward as the sea stretches endlessly before them, and with each passing wave, they inch closer to their destination, forever etching their names in the annals of history. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.